Assalamu alaikum. All right, welcome. Admit all. Hey, I see some beautiful smiles. How are y'all doing? MashaAllah. Admit. Why is everybody allowed to come in? Mute, right? So, yeah, find a participant. Okay, let's get started. I think everyone's in. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Alhamdulillah. How's everybody doing today? Good? Okay, awesome. Let me share my screen. Multiple. How do I share a screen? Whiteboard. Let's do whiteboard. So today we have a few things lined up. We want to talk about, we want to have a little bit of a discussion, inshallah, about some of the concepts here that are in the third part of the Quran. We've been going through some of the gems. If anyone is joining us for the first time, we've been every day, alhamdulillah, going through some of the gems in each of the succeeding juz of the Quran. As we know, it's so exciting and so overwhelmingly great that Ramadan is starting soon, inshallah, in a matter of a day or two. So we get to kind of, Allah gave us this blessed opportunity to have the ability to kind of ponder more with all this time that we have during the day. So not only are we all going to try to do all those great things like reading Quran and everything, but we're going to get to talk about it a little bit in detail. So I'm going to go over some of the verses that are in Juz 3. And at the beginning, there's a theme that keeps recurring. So I'm going to also be getting y'all's feedback. And that theme that keeps coming up over and over is the theme of spending. Okay? And believe it or not, you are able to write on the whiteboard as well. So you all have the power. So use your power. All right. I didn't realize people were waiting in the chat. Okay, there. All right. So, and so we are now towards the very end of Surah Al-Baqarah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about charity once again, which is spending.
Yeah, she's in.
He says, all you who believe, spend in charity out of what we supplied to you before the day comes when no bargaining will be accepted, when no friendship will matter, nor intercession sway. So what that means, once again, is it's talking about charity. It's talking about giving from what we have. And the other day we were talking about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never burdens us more than we can bear. So he's only asking us to share something from that which we have. So, you know, if I have, let's say, this bag of Gardettos, I don't have to go buy another one for somebody, but I can just share from what I have, and it's that, right? So that's basically what, you know, Allah is telling us in part of that. And also he's reminding us to do this before the day comes when no bargaining will be accepted. So there's a day that Allah keeps reminding us about in the Quran, and that day is the day of judgment, okay? So here we are reminded that we need to do what we can right now in this time in our life that we have before the day of judgment. And it says, on that day, no bargaining will be accepted and no friendship will matter nor intercession sway. So it's going to be too late then. Verse 255 is a very, very important verse. Does anybody know verse 255 is? And I can tell you it starts like this. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Does everybody know what that verse is?
Ayatul Kursi.
Ayatul Kursi. Excellent. Very good. So that is Ayatul Kursi. And I'm just going to share with you the meaning of that because we use it so much. That is that Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the everlasting, No tiredness ever seizes him, nor does he rest. Everything in the heavens and earth belongs to him. Who can intercede with him without his consent? So all of that is talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Says he knows what's ahead of all people and what they've left behind, while we have none of his knowledge except for what he allows. His throne extends over the heavens and the earth and never tires in their safekeeping. He alone is the Most High, the Sovereign Supreme. So when we think of Allah's throne, we can try to visualize a chair like, you know, I'm sitting on this chair, or sometimes we think of the kings and queens that we know of and they have thrones, but this throne, we don't know exactly what it's like, but we can think about the thrones that we know. And it's very high in the heavens. And also we learned that Allah never gets tired. He's perfect. Yes.
Sorry, there's a echo.
Yeah.
I'm noticing. I was like, where's that coming from?
Do you possibly have like two devices on or something? Maybe if you mute everyone. Is there a setting where you can just mute everyone?
Oh, okay, let me check. Mute all. Well, would that mute myself as well?
No, it won't. It'll just mute all the participants. Let's see if that fixes the problem.
Okay, let me try. Hello. Okay, so I pushed mute all, and Reem, if you feel like there's anything that needs to be said, it says that you can unmute yourself so you can tell me. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never tires. And so there's a big, big difference between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the creator and being perfect and being powerful and having all of these amazing qualities that are beyond our comprehension, and us, we the creation, we get tired, right? We are weak, we are needy of him, but he is not needy of us. So there's so much that goes into that verse. I'm not going to go too much into detail of that, but I did just want to make note that that is there. Now, once again, the theme that really prevails in these next few sections is once again about charity. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in verse 261, the example of those who spend their money in the cause of Allah is like that of a seed grain. From it, 7 robust stalks rise, and each stalk contains 100 grains. Allah gives abundantly to whomever he wills, for Allah is enough of a provider and is full of knowledge. So one thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does is he uses examples in the Quran, and this is such a favor and a blessing that he does for us because it helps us understand things better. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an example of a seed grain. So everybody knows what a seed is like, and everybody knows that when you have a really fruitful seed, what happens with that seed? You put in one seed into the ground, and then what happens? It sprouts possibly into a very fruitful tree, and that tree has so many fruit that come off of it, right? So you may have 100 apples that come off of this tree. You may have hundreds of okra, or you may have, you know, so many strawberries just from that one seed. And Allah is comparing what we spend in our money for the sake of Allah like that seed. So if you give $1, it might result in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rewards and benefits and so many things that that are beautiful that come from that. Allah goes on verse 262, those who give their money in the cause of Allah and who neither remind others about what they spent nor humiliate the poor whom they give charity will be rewarded by their Lord. They'll have no reason to fear or regret. So something which is a beautiful quality that we have in our religion and in the Quran is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us manners. He teaches us how to do things. So it's not just enough to do something. There's a way, there's a how, there's a right manner in doing it, and there's a wrong way, and there's boundaries, there's guidelines. So here there's a very clear guideline that when you do spend on people, do not remind somebody that you spent on them. Now, if we take one step back and think that, you know, who is it that created us and gave us everything that we have? We may feel like that's ours, right? We may feel like, you know, those Oreos belong to us, or those whatever kids are into nowadays, Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Legos or whatever, those things are really ours. But actually everything, even our own bodies and our lives, belong to Allah. And of course our possessions belong to Allah. Of course our money belongs to Allah. So anything that we give is actually Allah's anyway. We don't want to remind somebody else that we gave them something, okay? And we don't want to humiliate people. So even though we are all maybe younger than adults, we have things that we may have given people, right? And so it's really important that we don't go and say to our brothers and sisters in the house, or to our friends, or to our cousins, or whoever, that, oh, do you remember that time? Do you remember that time I gave you that? Oh, and just make them feel bad about it. Or if you're in a fight, oh, well, I did this favor for you and now you're treating me this way. We have to not bring that even as an option ever. We should never, make people feel bad for something that we've given them. So it's really, really important that we're very sincere, even in small little things that we give to people. So that's something that I wanted to mention. Also, in the next verse, it says, oh, all you who believe, don't negate your charity by making others feel they owe you, or by humiliating the poor. So this is, once again, along the same lines. Let's see, admit this person. So this is what braggers do when they give money in charity to be seen by other people, for they don't really believe in Allah in the last day. They are like a rock covered only by a little soil that a torrent of rain soon washes away, exposing the hard, bare stone underneath. Okay, so interesting. Allah is saying that this is what braggers do. So we have to have, so actually we should realize that there are people who do things just to show other people that they're doing it, and they're not being sincere to please Allah, okay? We don't want to be one of those people who goes around and shows people, oh, I did this, therefore I'm a good person, or I did this, I'm a generous person. I'm this person. We don't want to just do things to get people to compliment us so that we can be known for giving. We need to be sincere to Allah to the point where nobody needs to know about what we did good. And once again, Allah uses examples. He says, they're like a rock covered by a little soil. Again, this very strong theme comes up again, where it says, the example of those who spend their money seeking only to please Allah and to strengthen their own souls is like a high garden where rain is plentiful and the harvests are double. So clearly this is a good example of where we want to be, okay? Once again, Allah talks about charity. He goes on to describe in verses 267, where Allah says, all you who believe spend in charity out of the good things that you've earned and of the harvest of earth that we've allowed to grow for you. So with the permission of Allah, okay, with the permission of Allah, we have what we have as a test, and we should be spending those good things. It says, don't choose to spend in charity items of inferior quality, things that you wouldn't even want to receive yourself. If you wouldn't want something, please don't give that to somebody, right? So if you have like a very broken game or a broken toy that you wouldn't even want that yourself, don't think that you're doing something good by giving it to somebody. No, you should only give things that are good enough, for you to want to use, or have a certain standard, okay? So I wanted to just take one moment and ask all of you to share what are some examples of things that we can spend or give. What are some things that maybe you have given or shared that are not? So I know that, we are not, in this group, we're not all old enough to have jobs and earn money and pay for houses and cars, but we have some things that we own that belong to us. And I just wanted to hear from you. Maybe I should unmute you at this point. I wanted to hear from you what you have shared in the past, or what you would imagine sharing. Can everyone give some examples? See if I can unmute. Okay, now I can't find the unmute anymore, but you can unmute, and actually you can just write it right here as well, which was the idea that I had. So, let's see. Oh, here we go. Mute, microphone, speaker, test, switch. So right now, I'm not figuring out how to make you guys be able to talk again. If anyone knows, let me know.
Monapu,
Yes,
if you click on participants, like that little menu bar that comes up,
right here.
Yeah, if you click on participants, what happens?
Oh, okay,
you should see a little.
Yes.
It should give you an option, and they can raise their hands and stuff too if they click.
Okay, I'm so happy you're here.
No worries. Okay. I'm just
so. If people want to share out, that's fine too, and I can type it for you. But what is something that you could share that you own?
Can we write?
Yes, you can write. You can write it right there. Has anyone ever shared something?
Huh?
Okay, I just want, let's take 2 examples because of time. There's some other things I also want to talk about.
Huh?
So what is one thing, and I know that somebody here has shared something, there's a lot of you on here. So what is one example of something we can share? Wow,
How do you-
I like that answer. Somebody said food.
How do you type?
MashaAllah. Very proud of you. That is a great thing to share.
Wait,
MashaAllah.
you press
Sharing
tab?
food. Yes, maybe some of you are trying to figure out how to use the writing feature, and that's just up here at the top. You can see my screen. At the top, it says text. Oh, look at this. Some people are writing. So happy to see this. Okay, so one person said clothes. I really like that. One person said, does this say container? No, I'm not sure what this says right here. Shelter. Okay, you can share your shelter, and that's true. Oh, okay, right here, something to the poor. Contribute to the poor. Okay, toys, excellent. You guys are doing great. MashaAllah. And then money, I think that says money. Okay, y'all did great. Those are all things that you can share, definitely. MashaAllah. Okay, that is very good. So everyone has the right idea here. Let us go on. So, you know, this theme goes on and on. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes something, we know that that's a really important part of our religion. So, you know, in our religion, we're very much encouraged in our character to think not just about ourselves, but to be compassionate and think about other people around us. And spending and sharing is an act in which we are thinking about the people around us, okay? Another very important point, moving on to another theme after this, is in verses 275. It says, those who devour interest money will have no standing except for that of someone who's been knocked down by the touch of shaitan. That's because they say business and taking interest money is the same, but Allah has made business lawful while forbidding interest. And then a little bit further down it says, whoever listens to this warning that has come from his Lord and desists from accepting interest money may retain the interest already occurred. Okay, so as Muslims, we should know that we are not allowed to use riba or interest. This is completely haram. And so a lot of the banking system around us, and it started in the Western world, but now it's gone to Muslim countries as well, is where you end up, you know, when you borrow money or you borrow in order to purchase a house or a car or credit card, there's something haram in there called interest that we have to try to avoid. So we have to try to spend within the money that we have. And if we have to borrow, just remember that it's completely haram to use interest, okay? There are a few really nice du'as as well in here that I wanted to go over, but because of time, I'm gonna skip over a little bit. Juz 3 also goes into Surah Al-Imran, and Surah Al-Imran is the 3rd surah in the Quran. In this surah, we learn about the birth of Isa alayhi salam, and what we learn about, you know, first his mother Mary was born, and as she grew up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this miracle of creating the life of Isa alayhi salam, and he was born, and he had many miracles which are referred to. So towards the beginning of Surah Al-Imran, we learn about this entire story of Mary, the birth of Isa, some of the miracles that Isa alayhi salam did, because the messengers usually had miracles. And so in verse 48, it says, as a youth, Isa told his people, I've come to you with a sign from your Lord. I'm going to breathe life into a lifeless clay bird, and that I'll create by Allah's command, and I'll heal the blind and the lepers and bring the dead to life by Allah's command. So Isa alayhi salam had some miracles, which means he had some powers that Allah gave only to him, such as healing the blind and the lepers and being able to bring the dead to life. Later in verse 54, we learn that it wasn't long before the faithless contrived a plot, though Allah did the same, and Allah is the best planner of all. So one thing to know is that every single prophet, every single messenger who came to try to tell people to do good things were persecuted. They did struggle. They did face hardships. There's no such thing as a prophet or a messenger who had a very easy life, okay? Because and even if there was a few of them that were wealthy or had more, they still had a lot of difficulties. And what does that mean for us? What that means, the message that we can take home from that is that as Muslims, our life on this earth is it's meant to be a good life, but we're going to have struggles in order to try to be good Muslims, in order to try to please Allah. We're going to sacrifice things. So when we're doing things like spending, you're going to be spending things that you love, okay? When we're going to be trying to stay within the bounds of Islam, we may not be accepted in society. We may face trouble. We may face persecution. And so we are not the first ones to go through that. The prophets all went through that. I do want to tell you about something very exciting, inshallah. So I'm going to switch gears. Alhamdulillah, we have a really great opportunity, and that is this competition sort of thing that inshallah we will be able to do together as Girl Scouts. So I want to show you something really cool. So let me see if I can find this. Okay, let me just get this on the screen. So there is an app that was just released, and it is an app all about Ramadan. Now I'm going to share my screen again. Share screen. Come on. Oh goodness, I think I lost you. Share screen. Here we go. Okay, so if you go to this website, landing.myramadan.app, I would like everyone who possibly can to go to this website, and this will tell you about this free app. And we're going to have a very exciting contest that we can do. And it's not just a contest, it's really an opportunity for us to be able to have a good Ramadan together by tracking ourselves and encouraging ourselves. And so if you take a quick look at this, what I'd like for you to do, and I'll send this on the group. Let me send this little website here, control copy. This is absolutely free, so there's not going to be any cost. Is there a chat function? Goodness. Okay, chat, can I chat here? I'm not seeing the chat. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's called landing.myramadan.app. If you go there, you will see this website, okay? And on this website, you will see that you can link directly to the Apple Store or the Play Store. If you go to the Apple Store, if you have an Apple phone, and this is an app that you can put straight onto your phone for free. And so this app has cool things, like for example, you can make your own dua list. You can connect with people by being friends with them, having mentors, being in a group. There's a tiny learning portal. You can make habits that you keep track of, and it's done really nicely. You can kind of personalize it. I wanted to be able to go through a little bit of that with you, but if you can just download this onto your phones, it also downloads on your iPad or on a desktop, and you can kind of play around with it. If you have a Play Store, then it's on the Play Store here. So either way, and I'll give you an example, or I'll explain to you very quickly that there's 3 ways that people can join, but we're gonna be doing the trophy troop competition. So if somebody, and this is open to everybody in the world, but you can have a group in there. So our group is gonna be the Girl Scout group, and I'll explain that. So if somebody wants to join this competition by themselves, they can do the Barakah Boost. So people who do the Barakah Boost can participate, and this is for people who just want to be competing for this $250 prize at the end. And I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but the explanation is right there on the website. You can join Family Feud, and this is for families. And it's really nice, especially with all the social distancing and we're all stuck with our families. We can make that a fun time together. And there's some challenges that the families will be doing, and all the description is here. And then what we're going to be doing right here, Trophy Troop, is for any sort of a group. Like it could be a troop, a class, an organization, whatever, youth group. And we are going to be doing Trophy Troop. So here on Trophy Troop, if we look at mine, I wonder if I can look at my particular one to show you, which is what I was hoping to show you. Goodness, I thought that I had mine on here. Okay, so on the desktop, there's a portal here. Let me see if I can see mine. So let's go to my troop. So what I would like everyone to do, so, okay, hopefully you can see this, but there is a Girl Scout one, there's a Girl Scout group here. So if everybody can download the app and then join a group called Mass Girl Scouts, what we're gonna be doing that's really exciting is not only will you be using this app throughout the month, but we are gonna also be competing for prizes. So what we have, for example, the first prize winner will be a $100 Amazon card. We'll have a couple of second place prizes, $50 cards. Third places probably will have like 4 third places at $25, and we'll have a lot of high performers at $10 prizes. So that's just a little fun element, but what that is we're gonna have like, you know, tracking, just to see, we're not gonna be able to look into your personal stuff, but just to see how much you're using it. We're gonna be able to send chat messages to each other. I might send out something like a, you know, today let's do this challenge, and it'll be something simple like, you know, today let's help our parents clean up after iftar, or if it's Friday, you know, let's read part of Surat Al-Kahf together, or maybe a totally different day will be remember to do your adhkar, you know, of the morning or the evening. It won't be anything too big, but just, you know, at times we'll do little challenges like that. And, you know, we're just trying to get people encouraged and motivated. You can chat with each other. You can actually make your own friends on here. So you can be friends with your own good friends and kind of like, you know, encourage each other. It's kind of like almost like WhatsApp. So once you download it onto a device, you'll be able to see how that part works. I can show you how it looks like on my phone really quick. So mine, when I download it, that's like my home screen, and you can put your own picture for your profile picture. So you pick your own picture, you pick friends on there, you can pick groups. So I've got one of the groups, the camera can show it. One of the groups is the Mass Girl Scout group. You can join as many groups as you want, by the way, so you have chances to win. And then also at the bottom, you'll see there's a home, there's a dua list, which is really cool for me. Like there's, you know, I have my personal little duas on there. You can add duas with a plus sign, and it gives you this cool thing. It shows which dua type you're adding, and then you add that type and you put in your personal wording how you want that. There's habits, which is another cool thing. I'll show you very quickly. Okay, so here we have habits. So you can add your own habits. And so, yeah, so basically I would like for y'all to try to download that, and inshallah, we're gonna start using that really soon. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I really hope to see y'all on there today. And yeah, so today, someone was asking, are we gonna play a Kahoot game? I was thinking about it, but I thought, let me go ahead and spend the time to introduce this app to y'all, because we're gonna be using it all the way through Ramadan. And also I have to bounce on another call at 3:30, inshallah, about this app. And so I actually have to wrap it up. I can't go over time today, but alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to see all of y'all here, and inshallah, it's gonna be the same time tomorrow, 3 to 3:30. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me somehow. I'm sure that your parents have my contact information, and inshallah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up with the dua. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. And everyone's homework today, please try to download that app. Try to somehow log on to it, either iPad or your computer or your phone, and inshallah we're going to take off with that, okay, tomorrow. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.